Hello, this is Tanyag with Tanyag Company. We are a business advising consulting firm. What we do is we provide results-driven consulting for small business owners, helping them double their income to build a lifestyle, not just a business. Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 secrets of generating your own leads. When you're in business, you either got to buy leads or generate leads. So it doesn't matter if you're a realtor, doesn't matter if you're a heating air conditioned person, doesn't matter if you're a business advising, business consulting, you're still generating leads. Either you're generating leads or you're either buying leads. And the frustrating thing of the process, I tell people most of the time, is that it's managing the lead flow. If you self-generate it or you buy it, is you got to have leads, because leads are part of business development, which you convert into sales, become clients, and then that you provide operation, delivery, and support. So what I want to share with you is 3 secrets in generating leads that I've seen over the last 20-some years doing this. Secret number 1 is to network. So what does that mean? I find a lot of people are networking because networking is the buzzword of the term, but I find that most people don't know what they're really doing, except here's this belief. They know they went to a network event, picked up a client, and then they have this cause and effect that I need to go out and network all the time. Well, but I believe from my experience, networking is a skill. It's actually a process. There are certain things you have to be skillful in networking. You have to have a process to either go to the right networking event, find someone you need, and develop a relationship with them over a 30, 90 day and convert them as a client. Or at least build a network to get referrals and introductions. So what I'm going to do is, the secret number 1 is one way to self-generate. So what does it mean? Tip number one is network with people in your target market. Where I think a lot of business people in networking don't know their target market, so they think they need to go network everywhere and anywhere. Really what you need to do is you need to network where your target market is. Target market is, people that have the money to use your service and you're passionate about working with them. Like, for example, in Tanyag Company, one of our target market is residential real estate or service-based business owners. Especially in the residential real estate market, we seem to do really well with them, because most of the people in the residential real estate market could be heating, air conditioning, plumbers, contractors. They're all building a lifestyle business, and that's where we thrive and do well at. So when you're networking with people in your target market, network not only in your target market, but people who have influence and respect of the peers and have business goals and objectives. Recently, I went to a seminar by Michael Mayer, and he was talking about he's one of the most successful real estate trainers in the country, and he's built a network up to 150 people, and he gets about 500 referrals a year. And he said basically, I network with people with influence, respect. I network with people who have goals and objectives, and they can't not only be hungry, they have to have goals and objectives, because that pushes them, that gets them to move to the next level. And he said he next works with people who have influence, because what he does is that if they don't have any goals and objectives, how serious are they going to grow their business? If they don't have the influence and respect of peers, how are they going to influence or have other people talk to you when they are going to make an introduction or a referral to you? And then, my twist is, are they target market? Are they in front of the right people you want to talk to? Are they in front of people who have the propensity to do business with you? Tip number 2 is network with people who give you a qualified expert in your mind. A lot of people are networking personally, not professionally, meaning that networking personally is, if I'm helping you, help me. Well, what people don't realize, there's a reciprocity style in networking. There's a book called by Adam Grant on Give and Take, and he talks about there's 3 types of reciprocity styles: givers, takers, and matchmakers. I find out in most business settings is mostly matchmakers. Either I call low maintenance or high maintenance, and the difference is high maintenance knows that they only will give a little, but they'll get a lot from you. Low maintenance basically means they've gotten burned before. Once you give to them, they open up everything and help you. And givers, there are 2 types of givers. There's the selfless giver who gives everything and doesn't get anything in return. And I call the strategic giver, who knows when to give to get things to return their way, and when they know when to give when they don't expect anything. I call them strategic because they know when to give and not to give, and they don't get upset about giving. If you're a selfless giver, you believe if I give it, the universe will give back to you. That's not always true in business. I think it will, but it's long term. You may not be in business by the time it gives back. I've learned that reciprocity style has to do a lot with building a network. But for again, this tip is you want to network with people who give you the qualified experts. So you have to ask the qualified question. And so the question is like, for example, if I was a realtor, or if I'm a business advisor, so I ask people this question: if you have a friend, neighbor, or business colleague who's needs business help, or needs a business coach, or needs help in growing their business and hiring, doubling, who comes to mind? Who would you recommend, and why? And there's only 4 answers: no one, you, Bob Smith, who's a friend of the family, but he has the category, but he just by top of mind, but not by expertise. And then they have somebody like this say, well, Bob Smith, he's a coach. I know who he's really good. I refer him. Because what you really want to do is you want to earn that category, have that category. If you don't, then there's really no reason to professionally network with them, because they're not going to truly refer you. And the other thing you want to do when you're actually networking with people, I always believe too, you really need to ask them, what in terms of your service, what do they believe in it? Because the challenging thing is, like in my business, I'm in a want business, not a need business. So people are not going to look for coaches or business advisors or business consultants when they need it. So I have to find out if there's 3 types of people I experience through business owners who need business help. They're do-it-yourselfers. There's people that don't want to do it themselves, but then they'll find the right resource and they're willing to invest in themselves or the business and put time and money into it. And the third, someone in the middle. And I look for 2s and 3s. If I know they're a do-it-yourselfer, I'm not going to network with them to look for equal exchange, because what happens is they're just going to get information from me and pump me for information. Very rare refer or introduce me, but it's even worse. They won't even share the value because they don't see the value. And then also, and when you're networking, I've labeled 3 categories that are very beneficial. Category number one I've seen in my experience is the free network events. They're purpose for networking. Like there's like networking 1-to-1. There's like T-Pen. All they do, it's free. It's networking. The good and bad about that is sometimes not target market. A lot of times people go there. They're great people personally, but they're not really focused on their business. They don't have any goals. They don't want to invest. So the difficult part of that is you're looking for a diamond in the rough. A lot of people go to free, but free is not always good. Because you're really looking for people, if you really want to grow your business, you're looking for people that have at least not only the need of your service, they have authority and they have the means to pay for it in their target market. And not every free networking event is target market. Like I know a bunch of networking events in Hampton Roads, and I know which ones are free, which ones are specifically target market, which ones just people just get together. So I really tell people that that's category 1 is free events, and that's purposely don't pay any money. You just network. Category 2 is organizations where the main purpose and focus is networking, but there's a financial investment. Like for example, BNI. I used to be the director of BNI almost 20 years ago, and I ran it. So the thing I like about BNI, there's a structure, there's a process. You pay money into it. People have to pay money. They have to invest in something, time and money. And when people are putting money investing, they have some skin in the game, and that usually means they're willing to work in the process. Another one that I know is like FB is the one that people they pay through items. There's another one called BizConnect that I really enjoy and like. They do a phenomenal job of connecting people. I think it's like under $200 a year, and you become a member. And they have done a very good job. I've watched them the last couple of years. They're probably one of the best networking organizations where you pay money, but they just connect people and they just bring quality people together. So you have to look at it. There's in category 2, there is networking, but there's a financial commitment. You're paying money. And it depends on the structure. Like BNI is very structured. Some people love it and hate it. I personally, my business is in it because I believe in the next 5-10 years, it's going to be very hard to get in front of people unless you're in some type of professional or personal organization that they're supporting a cause, because people are busy, but they're not busy if they're part of an organization paying money. And the thing I like about category 2 is there is some type of structure, there's some type of body, there's some type of hierarchy. In the free networking events, organizations in category 1, there's nothing like that. So it's a free for all, and I've been a couple, and I tell you, free is great when you start out, but you don't want to stay there because you really have no control. It's based on the individual. And the third category is where networking is part of the process, but not the focus. And this is where I think a lot of people don't go networking. These are like trade organizations. There's a financial investment. Like one of my target markets I focus on is residential real estate. So I'm a member of Hampton Roads Realtor Association. So I pay a annual fee. It's like under $200 a year, but then I, invest into their sponsorships of these different things left and right. I write some articles, but it's all realtors in there, and I'm meeting the right people. They see me all the time. So it's, I've been in it about a year and a half, and it's slowly taking, because networking isn't a part of it. Networking is a part of it, but it's not the main focus. It's a trade organization. So every target market has some type of trade or professional organization. That's where I think people need to go network. Because the amazing thing about that is that's everybody in there is target market. And so, again, there's 3 levels: free organization that you have to pay for primary networking, and category 3 is where they're actually networking is a part of the process, a financial investment, but it's not the main focus. Like trade organizations like Hampton Roads Commercial Real Estate, Hampton Roads Realtor Association. So the whole idea is there's networking's part, but it's not the main focus. So when you're networking, you look at those tips, but really pay particular to the categories of the events and activities or association you be part of. Because all the clients I work with, we look at their target market, look for the influencers, look for people who have goals and objectives. There's a process we have that we can develop them to a network or get them to convert the people to a client. And we look at the categories where we can place them so that they're meeting the right people. Like I have a person who works for Serpro. She's a business development person. She's going to finish the year with about a year and a half. And the amazing reason why she is going to, because she's going after, I call it category 3. She's going after organizations where people have the money, time, and authority, and they're giving her big jobs. She does large laws, and she's done phenomenal because she's networking in the professional organizations, the trade organizations, where she can meet and greet the people. She serves on a couple of the boards. She's heavily involved. I mean, she's going where the money is, because a lot of times, and I'll leave you with this, most people are networking solely based on comfort, not where the money is. And the money is where you're networking with people of influence and have respect for the peers, because if you can truly help them, they will truly help you. And not only do they help you by tenfold. The difficult part is people network for their comfort versus networking for they need to take their business. And, that's where you need to go. Secret number 2, one way to generate your own lead is build a network that you can inform for people for referrals and introductions. And this is a unique concept. In marketing, I find out there's 2 types of way you market: to inform and influence. And when you inform people, you're just letting them know you're out there. There's no loyalty. The thing about informing, you're just consistent. Let me give you an example. I have some, realtors who send me newsletters every month. They're very consistent on sending me, I call it item of value. I mean, I've getting it for 3 or 4 years. They're very consistent at it. But they never ask me for my loyalty. They're just consistent in sending me stuff. They call me once a quarter. And if I didn't know what I would do, most likely 9 out of 10, I probably would give them a referral to, because they're just consistent. They're informing who they are. They're bringing me something, but they're not influencing face to face. They're not asking me for loyalty. So when I tell people to build a network to inform your referrals and introductions, I tell them, create a list of your family, friends, and business associates. Create a list, and then tier that list into who gives me referrals and introductions, who has given me referrals and introductions, I led the business, who could give me referrals and introductions, I haven't gotten any, but I could work on, and who would not. And then what you have to do is you have to constantly be in front of them. And really, it's not about influencing them. It's about informing them. So it's like, give an example, email newsletter. A lot of times people put people on email in the newsletter just to keep them informed. And then when you see the subject, you call them. Or you may drop by and see them, or you may send them a gift. You're just informing them. You're keeping in touch. But there's the thing about informing that it's a weakness is you don't ask them, can they be loyal? You don't ask them, are you the qualified one? You just assume. Now, there's nothing wrong. I mean, you could have an email list of 2,000 or 3,000 people that you're sending an email to, you're keeping in touch. Because eventually what happens, they're going to call you and need you, or they're going to send you somebody because you're persistent and you're consistent in your marketing. And that's the good thing about building a network to inform. I've seen some very successful people have email lists of 1,000, 2,000 people. I mean, like affiliate marketing. I mean, people who do online or internet marketing, they know they built their business off a list. Now, the interesting thing, They market to that list to inform them, let them know what's going on when they have a need to call them. But they also influence the people who actually interact with them on an ongoing basis. Some of the best systems I've seen on informing is like Brian Buffini. My opinion, I could be wrong, it's an informing system. It's not influencing, it's informing. They inform people really well, and they're good at it. And I've noticed that people love their system because it's turnkey, but I also know that people aren't loyal. They're not loyal because you never ask for loyalty, you just assume. So the good thing about the building a network to inform, you'll get referrals from it. I mean, I used to have a newsletter that goes out, and I used to get about 2 or 3 leads from it all the time. What I realize now is that I want a system that informs people, and then I want a system that actually influences people. The third secret is what I call one way to build your network is the influence of people for referrals and introductions. So what this is based on a concept that you can have socially up to 150 people that you can actually have a solid, good relationship personally, professionally. So when you're influencing these people, you really want to make sure that the difference between influencing and informing is that influence, you're asking, can I be the guy? Can I be the person? Like for ask people, can I be the business advisor consultant that has a category of business? I want to be the guy. Not assuming because I send them emails once a month, I send letters or drop gifts that I will be the guy because I'm persistent and I'm nice. No, and when you influence people, I'm going to ask them the guy. So some of the tips in this way, you really want to make sure you're going after people of influence. You want to go after people in your target market. You got to have people who actually have written goals and objectives, and they have to be hungry because if they don't want to grow and then have no written goals, there's really no network. Number 2, when you have this, you're also going to be the tip 2 is you want to make sure that they give you, or they open to give you the qualified expert in your mind. Like, I've been meeting with people and ask them, can I be the business advisor in your mind? Can I be the category of business help? Because if I can't be that category, how truly are you going to refer me and introduce me? Because if I'm going to go out of the way to help you, I really want to earn that category, and I want to be that category. Because that's my strategy of building my business. I want a network that knows I'm the guy, and the guy they call to. I mean, maybe not the guy that provide the service. I may be the guy to introduce them, but I'm the first guy they think about. If somebody goes, oh, I need to double income. Oh, let's call Arnell. Oh, I need to hire staff. Oh, let's call Arnell. Because if I can't do it, I'll let them know. But the first thing comes to mind, because not only because I'm consistent and keeping in touch with them, because I'm asking them, I want to be that person. See, in informing, you just assume because you're persistent in your marketing. In informing, you're not persistent, or you are based on their answer. If they say, yeah, can you be the guy, then you're persistent in developing, I call it a face-to-face interaction. If you are not, if they don't give you the I call it the quality mind, you say, well, what you have to have 2 choices. Either, okay, I understand, we can just move on, be business friends, and business friends basically means is you're just friends of business, have a drink. You don't help each other out. You may give help out of just being kind, but you don't expect anything in return. And you put them on, I call on the list to inform. But if they give you the category and they'll let you earn it, or you already category, now you have to spend time teaching them how to refer or teach them how to introduce, and then figure out how to help them. And then the last tip is you have to create a process that these relationships that you are working on consistently to help and ask them for introductions. One of the things that I was impressed with Mike Mayer is that he has conference calls with his people in his network. He has 15 to 20 minute conference calls during the month with people in his network. That's where I'm going. I'm going to schedule 15 to 20 minute conference calls with people to get that process moving. Because what I really want to do in 2017 is build a network that influences, and then build a network that informs. And I believe the way to do that is not only network and build a network that informs and influences, but if I have to network for any new business, it's all going to come through existing relationships that I'm informing and influence. And I'm not going out to network events just to create my own client base or build a network. I'm going to go and network through existing relationships. So again, those are the 3 secrets. Networking. That's either networking for a client or build a network. And then when you already have it, secret number 2, when you build a network, you're going to build a network that either you inform, or number 3, you're going to build a network that you can influence. I think you need to do both, one to inform and one to influence. And there's a process for that. I mean, Mike Mayer wrote the book, 7 Levels of Communication. He has a process for real estate agents. I've taken his class for a year because I'm going to adapt his process to mine. I have some of it, but it's been fragmented, so I'm going to streamline it so that literally I'm getting, my goal and objective is to give out 200 referrals and get 100. So I would love to get, 9 referrals a month in my target market. And I get referrals, but not always in target market, so I'm going to get better over every month to teach people who I'm really looking for. So again, this is Arnold Tanyag with Tanyag Company. The topic today was the three secrets of generating your own leads. So I'm hoping this was helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. My number is 757-754-6918, 754-754-6918. This is our video for the talk for the month of October, and I hope it was beneficial. Thanks.